Now, let me just pause this for a minute. I found this website. I'll put the link down in the description of whatever video I'm recording, because I'm going to be cutting it up later. It's called evilrooms.wordpress.com/2010/01/22/evilgenius/. And it tells you step by step how to make one tile corridors. They're really easy. And there's some really nice applications of it too. Now, like I said, some of the applications of these rooms does require the unofficial mod, such as the armory here, because you can't actually place gun lockers in the barracks. Now, you can still build this armory without the one tile corridors, but you just won't have that really nice framing effect that you get that he's describing here. So let's just go down the list. The power stations, these are completely doable without without the unofficial mod. So they got one for nuclear plants and one for ordinary generators. And they also have the world's smallest laboratory. Now, this actually doesn't require any one-tile rooms, but it's still a nice little interesting thing. It fits every single piece of laboratory equipment within, I think, a 9x11 room. 9x5. So that's really small. But what I really like is this here. I've actually built this completely by myself without having to follow how step by step it has it here, because this one it doesn't have step by step. But that is every single piece of trading equipment in a single small area. It also does make access of a lot of the loot. I find it's a good idea to save this picture to your desktop and simply have it open in the Windows picture viewer, and you can if you have your game. See, I've actually by window, and I just have the recording area cut smaller, so it almost looks like it's full screen, but that's actually windowed. So I can have the Evil Genius windowed and just slightly off to the side, and have the picture open on one side, and you can just build and compare. And I find it's actually really easy to build, and it's small. It's really small. It looks big, but it's only like, I think 13 by 9 or 13 by 11. It's really not that big. And then there's this really cool inner sanctum here that has these little trophy cases, which are done by one by one storerooms. And this nice little control panel, so he has his access to his big screen. A little 2x1 laboratory for the cloning device. Now, if you notice here, he has a hotel door. That's really just for the looks. It's not necessary to do, but otherwise, this room can actually be done without the this room can actually be done without needing the patch, but you have to use a normal door instead of the hotel door, because you can't build the hotel rooms inside the actual base without the unofficial patch. It also says things that you can do with external rooms and hotels by building one door quarters to keep agents and tourists busy. So there's some really interesting things you can do with one tile corridors. It's a really nice little article. It doesn't really link anywhere though, so it's the only thing it'll explain is only one tile corridors and their basic uses. But yeah, I'll take this. I'll take the link and I'll post it in whatever video this is when I cut it. And let's get back to the game now. Oh, she's silly me. I realize that they can't even access this room. Alright, so now I've got my storeroom. Actually, what I'm going to do is we don't need to build an extra briefcase rack. Why spend the money when I can just move this one? Now, a small hint about the briefcase racks: they are indestructible. You will never have less than one. Now, you can destroy them yourselves by right-clicking on it and hitting destroy. However, if you're only down to one, it will not allow you to do that. But like for instance, agents can't blow them up with bombs or anything. They can't shoot them until they blow up. They are indestructible in that sense. So you never have to worry about only being down to a single briefcase rack and having it blow up and not being able to access your money or anything like that. You'll always have one briefcase rack. Now, another thing people worry about is if you put your briefcase rack right where on the entrance to the store mall, they're going to say, well, agents are just going to walk up and steal from it. No, they won't. I don't know why, maybe it's something in their thing, but agents will only steal gold from the actual stacks of gold itself. They will not steal from the briefcase racks. So that's why I do this, because this allows my con workers to easily get the briefcase racks to the depot and back again without having to run halfway across the base with them, and that really speeds up your base construction. So now I'm going to get rid of the strong room, and I'm going to move Max inside the base here. Now I don't really know where to put him, where he's not going to... I'll put him in here. Now as soon as this guy gets out of there, I'm going to lock the door. Now let me explain how the doors work. They got 1, 2, 3, and 4 dot settings. Let him just exit. There you go. Here's how it works. 1 dot means anyone can use this door. It pops it right there. Anyone can use the door. That includes tourists, agents, and all of your minions. And in other words, you don't want it on any doors at all, except for your hotel doors, or else tourists can't even get into their own hotel. Number 2 is tourists and agents are banned to use. The only one that can use it are people who are within your agency. Level 3, as I just put this one on, is only the evil genius and extremely important characters, such as world leaders, can use the door. So, for instance, once you have to go gather all the crime bosses of the world, they can go through doors of any level, regardless. You don't have to lower the level for them. And the 4th one is essentially the exact same as the 3rd one, except if there's enough space, like if they're like right here. There's one spot right here, but there's nothing here. But you can have the door guarded on both sides, but you have to have empty space. So if I was to put on 4, a construction worker would come and stand here. What that does, if anybody tries to open the door, force their way through the door while the guard is standing there, they will immediately be tagged for capture and beaten into a pulp and brought into a holding cell if you have one. Now, this is actually not the best thing to do. Although it will keep people out of your base, or out of important rooms, the best thing to do is just tag them as you see them on the island for psychological weakening. That way, as soon as you have it, as soon as you have them built, as soon as you have your security system built and you have valets, you can have them psychologically weakened. Psychological weakening is an amazing thing you will never ever want to do without. Trust me. What it does is it doesn't do any actual damage to them, but it causes them to lose their attention or their smarts or their loyalty, the agents that is, based on which social minion is doing the psychological attack. And this will leave them for the most part in a stupefied state. If their smarts or their attention is sapped to 0, they will be stupefied and escorted from the base. They'll just be dropped off outside the base. You'll have a big pool of agents just standing outside your base, dumbfounded, until their time is up. And if you reduce their loyalty to 0, they'll be dumbfounded for a few seconds, but not as much as when they're stupefied or unattentive. But once they recover their senses, but until their loyalty is maxed out again, they will act like tourists, which means they will even go to the casino, or to your casino if you have one, or your hotel, and play around in the hotel or the casino. It's kind of funny to watch. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So it's not going to be a perfect uber trap, but it should work for what I need it to. Actually, I just realized I can probably just do that, because I'm going to need to place some doors here. Because I'm going to need to place some doors. If I don't place any doors, I'm not going to be able to keep my own agents. Ah, crap. I was so busy I didn't even pay attention. I was so busy talking and building other parts of my base, I completely forgot to oh, great. I can't build any more base entrance here until I get rid of this barracks, but I can't get rid of that barracks until there's a corridor accessing it. Oh, silly me.